I'm going to spend the next 35 minutes talking about metadata. Who's with me?
Oh, please, don't do it.
Now I'm going to talk about independent filmmaking, and hopefully what I show you will be interesting. I took an opportunity to go through, and what you're seeing tonight, you're seeing a set of slides that no one has ever seen, including me. I barely rehearsed them. It should be fun, though. I'm going to show you a lot of cool stuff that we're doing. So I'm Kanen Flowers, as he mentioned. I'm the creative director of a company called That Studio. I'll tell you a little bit about That Studio. It's an online, virtual, it's all the buzzwords. If you want to follow me on Twitter or heckle me for any reason, I am Kanen. Kanen punk ass was taken. There we go. I like it. I like it when people laugh. This is me. I am the co-founder of That Studio. My other founder is a guy named Alan Bell. You might know him. He's presented here before, but he's the editor of Hunger Games, Amazing Spider-Man, Water for Elephants, and probably one of the best movies ever made, which is 500 Days of Summer. If you haven't seen that, you should check it out. Anyway, enough about me. There we go. So That Studio is a distributed post-production visual effects studio. I can read this to you, or you can read it. We create original content, and we create tools and products for filmmakers like you guys. And I'm going to show you a couple of those things. We also do original films, television, other content. We make the lion's share of our revenue by creating original content and then having people option it and then never show it. Or through sponsorship or through post-production. We have a really big, probably 46-person virtual post-production studio right now. I say at the bottom here, imagine Miramax and ILM in a blender set to internet, which I think is exactly what we are. Is if you take the post-production services of ILM and then the distribution side of the kind of Miramax, back when they didn't suck, you know, when they were doing Pulp Fiction, Kevin Smith, all of these people who wouldn't even make it today, right? So we're trying to usher that in, and we also know that things have changed, so we're trying to be there for that change. If anybody can read the bottom, it's actually kind of funny. So we are That Studio. Insert something cleverer here. So That Studio, what does that mean? Well, we used to be called Scruffy TV. There was a bar. So two reasons. There was a bar in Australia called Scruffy something or other, and I thought the name was hilarious. And so I thought, that'd be funny if it were called Scruffy. And then there's a guy named Roger Schenck who said there's two types of people in the world. Those who are scruffy and those who are neat. And he was talking about people, the way that you think. And I decided I'm probably a scruffy thinker, plus I have a beard. We're no longer called Scruffy TV. We're now called That Studio. You may not have heard of That Studio, but you might have heard of some of the things that we do. By show of hands, who listens to a podcast called That Post Show? A shocking minority of you. The rest of you are terrible. You should go listen to it right now. While I'm talking, I'm not even that important. I also, in our network, we have a podcast called Fitness in Post. Show of hands, who's heard of Fitness in Post? Okay, that is fucking amazing. More people have heard of Fitness in Post than That Post Show. I literally just had an aneurysm and then one on top of that. So, largest post-production podcast on iTunes. Fuck you. It's about Fitness in Post, Zach. So anyway, Zach Arnold is here. Show, let's apply it here. So Zach has a mission with Fitness in Post, which is to get all of us up and moving. I personally have lost about 30 pounds just by following this regimen, which is really simple. It's about awareness. It's so great. Right, ladies? So... We also have Ruining It for Everyone in our network. We have Sci-Fi Idols. We have Not Just a Movie. And I'm the writer and director of a feature film called HEROPUNK, which you may have heard of. It's the first feature film ever shot on the Blackmagic Cinema camera. It is a 100% green screen feature film. There was an 1,100 square foot green screen that we shot it on. I'm going to show you a little bit of that. We broke a lot of rules with it, and the entire production budget for the entire feature film is $250,000. I think I should get an aha for that. Come on. Aha, huzzah. So workflow is really important to us. We realized that in order to be a studio in the modern day and modern age, we would not be able to do the traditional workflow that you see at all of these big post-production facilities or these big companies. We realized that, you know, Costs are going down, budgets are going down, wages are going down. We needed to be able to accommodate for that. So we built an entirely virtual studio around the world. We have people in Warsaw, Poland. We have people here in LA. We have people all over the place. No one goes into an office, and no one has to put up with a lot of the bureaucracy that you would put up with in a large corporate environment. So it's totally distributed. We use a combination of Trello, Dropbox, Wipster. We use Adobe Creative Cloud exclusively. We've been kind of branching out a little bit, but mostly Adobe Creative Cloud. We also use BitTorrent Sync, FedEx, Amazon S3, and a lot more. Workflow basically looks like this. Right, where's the blender? So what's really, yeah, the whole thing. So this is exactly how it works, though. We use Premiere Pro, project files, After Effects project files, Cinema 4D project files. Those project files, Audition project files, they all go on Dropbox. And then everything syncs to a local drive. You might be asking yourself, Kanen, how do you get 900 gigabytes of data to people very quickly? The answer is, we used to use FedEx. But our FedEx bill got so big that it was killing us. So now we use something called BT Sync, or BitTorrent Sync. It is free, it is profoundly good, and it is awesome because it is magnified by the number of people using it. One person is using it, it is sucky. 42 people using it, it is fantastic. We've been able to get gigabytes of information to people overnight. You can do that, or you can go spend money on one of these other tools. Did I mention free? It's really nice, though, because if you have a hard drive on your system and I have a hard drive on my system, and then we just say, oh, synchronize these folders, and then the project files for all these things live in Dropbox, when you open that project file, miraculously, the files are local to you in the right path, and it opens without you having to relink. Right? It's pretty sexy. We also use something called Wipster. If you're not familiar with Wipster, I urge you, I encourage you, I demand that you write it down. Wipster is an online review and approval system that allows you to send links of your video to your clients. Your clients can, this is about to get an amen, your clients can click on the place, the actual location in the video, and type a note. And that note is location-based and timecode accurate. And then you can go back in, except not sucky, and you can go back in, I'm sorry, I have an opinion, have you not heard my show? You can go in and you can comment on their comments, and then you can go through and mark all of the things that they've requested as completed. It is super quick, super sexy. We move to it. Our clients love us because we iterate quickly, but they also love us because it's so easy for them to use. Wipster. There's actually a code for 50% off. I think it's like Wipster loves Kanen, or I swear, I'll give it to you after this. Okay, this is our Trello workflow for something called HEROPUNK. Trello is an online card-based system. If you're familiar with using cards for different things that you do, you simply move cards around. I wanted to show you this because I wanted you to go, buh. That's a lot of data, right? But those are all shots for this trailer that we completed, and it's in something called Trello. Trello is free, right? It allows you to assign people, it allows you to set dates, it allows you to set responsibility, labels, attach files from Dropbox, all kinds of stuff. It's also free. Did I mention that? Also, it's free. Trello. Or if you're Spanish, Trello. So here's a couple things we've done. guys are too kind. So we're working on an original sci-fi television series that was picked up by, then dropped by, then picked up by, then dropped by, then picked up by, then dropped by, and now we're in negotiation with Netflix. So we'll see what happens. It's a story of Maple, an 18-year-old girl from 1989, travels through time with her grandfather. Grandfather's trapped in a balloon. She follows Devin McCoy, bad guy, and she's chased by the TikTok. They're the time police. Totally original story, created by us. Every episode costs us $150,000 to do. Each episode is 42 minutes long. We shot the first episode in Portland, Oregon, where I lived for 9 months while we were doing this. I'm going to show you a quick trailer, and then I may or may not show a breakdown depending on how I'm doing on time. The freaky part about that is like I get to like tell my kid, oh, by the way, this is what Daddy does for a living. Yeah, he loves it. Actually, he came up with the alien frog. So I'm going to skip the breakdown because I don't have a lot of time because I want to show you guys some other stuff. So we're doing HEROPUNK, which I mentioned before. HEROPUNK, cyberpunk, superhero, right? So HEROPUNK, cyberpunk, superhero. It's the story of this guy who runs this group called the Resistance in a parallel world where mutants have been outlawed, and so the United States and Germany actually teamed up in the 40s to prevent mutant abilities, and so they have different pathogens that they've released into the air and the water to prevent mutant powers from surfacing. And it's about this guy also who's a conduit who allows mutant powers to surface. It takes place in 2042, shot 100% on green screen. It's like Sin City, but all in color, which makes it really difficult. So I want to show you 3 things that I think you'll get a real kick out of. They're like a minute each, so hopefully you can put up with them. The first one is the before, which is just on green, and the second one is the actual teaser, and then the third is a breakdown of how we did the visual effects. So I'll start with just the
zone, right?
We were once thieves and hustlers. We believed in something better, a world free from fear and the uncertainty we face.
Free from the burden of knowing life could be better.
How would you like to live to be 150?
Life better.
Photo rails and flechettes online.
This can't be happening, not like this.
Trying to prepare an address for the United Nations.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
We cannot possibly hope to fight against them.
It's global suicide.
And so the conduit appears.
Someone want to tell me what just happened out there?
She fixed me.
She healed you.
You sure about this?
Dead sure.
You have the order.
Keep this area clear no matter what happens.
There are hundreds of them.
So now I'm going to show you what that looks like with actual effects applied to it. Maybe.
We were once thieves and hustlers. We believed in something better, a world free from fear and the uncertainty we face.
Free from the burden of knowing life could be better.
How would you like to live to be 150?
Life should be better.
Orbital rails and flechettes online.
This can't be happening, not like this.
Trying to prepare an address for the United Nations.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
We cannot possibly hope to fight against them.
It's global suicide.
And so the conduit appears.
Someone want to tell me what just happened out there?
She fixed me.
She healed you.
I believe in a better world, Megan.
Keep this area clear no matter what happens.
So how many of you noticed that it looked like a comic book? Show of hands. Because we really wanted to bring a graphic novel to life. That was our goal. So I'm going to show you another clip, which is a breakdown of how we did a tremendous number of the visual effects in that. It's pretty quick, but I think it'll be really interesting. So that's exclusive. No one has seen that yet. No one has seen the breakdown of the trailer yet. So you guys are the first to see that. Makes me happy to see you guys like clap. I mean, I can't tell you how much. I love doing it so much. It's just ridiculous. But so we're also working on an original series about zombies called 15 Days. About a year ago, as a lark, I went into a studio and actually recorded on just a DSLR 5D. I recorded people doing some things in like zombie makeup, and I thought, oh, this will be kind of interesting to see what it looks like. So actually what we did is we composited all that and put it all together so I could actually see, oh, this is what this zombie film might look like, and it's just a few seconds. So I just wanted to show you, like, this is what I do that will never see the light of day, just to see if we can do stuff.
I have seen the next world. It is living.
Living? Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
How long before we can cross over?
2 days, we believe. Not more than 3.
And our mortician? Is he ready to prepare the living?
Yes, sir. We can service hundreds and more when the full team arrives.
And what of this world?
Over 7 billion.
Enough for a lifetime. Their lifetime.
So, also, yeah, not as exciting, but, you know, didn't have as much energy. So that, like I say, that was just, oh, can we do this? Like, can we make this thing happen? Can we make it work? So we were asked to do an intro for the SUPERMEET, which I thought would be funny to show. If you guys don't know, Michael's runs the SUPERMEET with Dan Berube. So anyway, what I want to show you quickly is the idea that they gave us, which is this. So kind of cool, right? Right. So that was the idea. They said, "Hey, you know, can you make a SUPERMEET-y demo or like an intro for us, right?" And we said, "Sure," but you know, we want it to be a lot more about community and a lot more about, like, you know, happy and coming together and all that stuff. And so we had this idea that the word SUPERMEET itself would be the characters that would all have come together and meet together at the SUPERMEET, right? So we did this kind of goofy throwback to the 70s. How many of you guys watched like Schoolhouse Rock or something like that? Yeah. So we thought, oh, let's kind of go back in time and do something like that. So here's what we came up with. Yeah, that's right. It's an E. So, thanks. So my favorite part about that is when the little T reaches out and claps the clapboard. That's like, I could watch that a million times. Yeah, yeah. So we built it out of repurposable assets in After Effects, so you can just go in and add Amsterdam or whatever. So it works across every SUPERMEET that they will ever do. And also you could do it for LACPUG or whatever, because we broke it into assets like, oh, just change the word. Pretty fun. So then I wanted to tell you, I wanted to tell you about one more thing, which is I told you we build products. So we have something called Indie Essentials. It's 10,000 high-quality, QuickTime-based practical visual effects you can read. We shot it on the Red. We shot them in 5K with great camera, like, you know, cinema lenses, primes, some Rokinons. It has smoke, fire, flame, snow, all that stuff that you would use in your... So the idea here was, as a filmmaker, I started thinking about, what is my toolkit, right? What does my toolkit look like? And for me, my toolkit is, I like to blow stuff up, and I like snow, and I like all these things. So in that first teaser that I showed you, that 1820 teaser, it wasn't actually snowing. All that snow was composited in from Indie Essentials. So Indie Essentials is this thing that we put together, and we kept trying to figure out what the price was, and we looked around and we were like, okay, it's, you know, online, downloadable, 10,000 quick times and growing. If you buy it, you get a lifetime subscription, so anytime we update it, you get that update for free. You know, bandwidth costs money, right? We have to do Amazon. So we were like, what would it cost me if I wanted to go out and I wanted to shoot, like, 7 to 10 really high quality practical fire elements. I wanted to set fire to something. Well, first of all, I'd have to get a license, have to get a camera, have to do all these things. So we wanted to price it so that it was just ridiculous, so that it was like, you wouldn't even have to think about it. You would just go, oh, well, that's way less than I would spend, right? So it's $349. And I want to show you a quick, just a quick, really super quick like teaser. And yeah, and we're giving that away, we're giving a copy of that away tonight, which is kind of fun. Thanks.